Hello again to anyone and no one who accidentally clicked on this video. And as you saw in the title, I have a very important announcement for today. So this will be my last video on this channel. I am creating a second channel that will be for all my gameplay videos. Videos just like this, right? You know, just fool around, play some games, whatever, do some challenges. And I want to prioritize this channel for the other videos that I make, particularly the, the top 10 lists, the ranking videos, the videos that I put more work into, the ones that I actually write a script for and edit, just because those are two very different types of videos. And my edited videos, you know, like my last one came out a couple weeks ago. It was 30 facts for Super Smash Bros. 15th anniversary, and it was very popular. You know, a lot of people really like those videos. These gameplay videos of mine, they aren't as popular, which is fine. I do this just for fun, but because those other videos I do are so much more popular, I figured that it would be best for me to separate those two different kinds of videos that I make. So yeah, I'm going to be, because of that, I'm going to be creating a second channel. It's just going to be called Dom Games 2. So this one's Dom Games. My second channel will just be Dom Games 2. And from now on, I'll be uploading my gameplay videos on that channel. And I will reserve this main channel for all my bigger videos. Videos that I put more work into. Stuff like that. So that's kind of the idea. So yeah, this will be my last gameplay video on this channel before I make that second channel. And I'll link that second channel. Maybe I'll put the link in the description. I'll also put it so if you hit the channels tab on this channel, I'll have it there as well, so you can see Dom Games 2. So I figured for my last video on this channel, gameplay video, I figured what I would do is I would play my favorite game or one of my favorite games from each of Nintendo's major consoles. I was going to do one for the PlayStation as well, but fun fact, my PlayStation just got the blue light of death, and so it is, I just brought it in today actually to like an electronics store. They repair like computers and consoles and stuff. Hopefully they can fix it for me. If they can't fix it, I don't know, I might buy a PS5. I mean, I was always going to get a PS5 at some point, but I was kind of trying to hold it off as long as I could anyway. Oh, the Goomba got me. Just because like all the main games that are coming out for the PlayStation that I want, they come out on both systems anyway, right? Like the last big one was God of War Ragnarok. A big game I was really looking forward to. And if it was PlayStation 5 exclusive, maybe I would have gotten the PlayStation 5 by now. But it came out on PS4 as well, so I'm like, okay, I'll just buy it on the PS4. So that's kind of how I look at it, you know. So yeah, I'll get a PS5 eventually anyway, but hopefully they can fix my PS4 so I can hold it off just a little bit longer, just because I don't feel like spending 700 bucks on a new system right now. So yeah, so I won't be doing a PlayStation game today, but I'll be doing oh, that Goomba almost got me again. But I'll be doing all of like Nintendo's major consoles, their home consoles. So I'll be playing one game from the NES, the SNES, the N64, GameCube, the Wii, the Wii U, and the Switch. So 7. So yeah, again, I just figured I would pick my favorite game or one of my favorite games. So for the NES here, as you can see, I chose Mario Bros. 3. I don't have a lot of experience with a whole ton of NES games. I've played all the Mario games on the NES. I've played Mario Bros. 1, 2, and 3. I've even played the Lost Levels. But honestly, I think, like, I played all those 4 Mario games beginning to end on the NES. Like, I played the whole game before. But I can't think of any other game I've played the whole thing of. I spent a bunch of time playing, oh, there's a mushroom here. I spent a bunch of time playing the first Zelda game. I don't remember what it's called. Is it just Zelda? The Legend of Zelda? Yeah, I think so. But it's, I don't know, I mean, Zelda's obviously such a big and beloved franchise today, but that first Zelda game, I mean, in my opinion, I don't know. I don't know if I would say it's the greatest. I know it was the first game, and the NES was obviously limited in its hardware. Like, I'm not, you know, blaming anyone. I'm sure at the time it was pretty great, but it's kind of hard to play that game today, I find. So I never beat that first Zelda game. Same with Zelda 2. I spent a bit of time on there. Metroid, the first Metroid game, I played it a little bit, but again, I never beat it. You know what? Is Kirby's Adventure, is that an NES or SNES? I think it's an NES game. It is too, Kirby's Adventure. I actually played through that whole thing, but not on the NES. I played the remake of it. So the remake of Kirby's Adventure for the NES, there was a remake of Kirby's Adventure on the Game Boy Advance, and it was retitled to Kirby's Nightmare in Dreamland. So I had that Kirby's Nightmare in Dreamland on my Game Boy, on my little Game Boy Advance growing up. And I remember I really loved that Kirby game. I'm pretty sure I beat it too. So I have played Kirby's Adventure, but off the top of my head, that's all the NES games I can think of that I actually even played. Just those 4 Mario Bros games, 1, 2, 3 Lost Levels, and Kirby's Adventure. So that's 5. There might be more that I've like beaten, but I mean the NES was way before my time. I mean, maybe it wasn't for you, I don't know. Like the NES was like big when my parents were growing up, right? So I'm a 2000s kid. I was born in the year 2000. So I grew up mostly on the N64 and GameCube. Those were like my first systems. We didn't even have an SNES and an NES growing up. All the games I've played like on the NES and the SNES were either remakes like Kirby's Nightmare in Dreamland, like I mentioned, or I just went back and played them later, like on the on a virtual console, on one of Nintendo's virtual consoles, or on Nintendo Switch Online, because that's what I'm using now. To play Mario Bros. 3, I'm just using Nintendo Switch Online to play their NES library. So that's kind of like, you know, like I never really grew up with the NES or SNES, so my experience in those consoles are fairly limited. I mean, again, like I mentioned, there's a few that I have played. Like I've gone back and played all the Mario games, like I mentioned, because I'm just such a big Mario fan. But it's not like I grew up on the NES and the SNES. So yeah, my experience will obviously be a little bit limited. I think those are the only 5 games I actually beat on the NES. And again, I didn't even play any of those games on the true NES. Kirby's Dream Land or Nightmare in Dreamland was just my Game Boy. It was the remake. And then the Mario Bros games that I played, I just played all of those on the online, on Nintendo Switch Online. So yeah. But out of the 3 Mario games, well, 4 if you include Lost Levels, but the 3 like main Mario games that released worldwide, I think my favorite definitely is Mario Bros. 3. The first one is a little, I don't really love the first one. I'm sure it'd be different for people who grew up with that. Like a lot of people have a lot of nostalgia for the first Mario Bros. And I'm sure that'd be the case if I grew up with that game too. But I didn't grow up with it. And in my opinion, I just think Mario Bros. 1, I think it's a fun game. It's a good, you know, like, obviously give it a lot of credit. It started the whole series of Mario. I wanted to fight this guy, aren't I? Yep. But yeah, I don't know, when I play Mario Bros. 1 today, I feel like I can feel it's aged. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I'm not really, I wouldn't really turn, like, I wouldn't play Mario Bros. 1 just for fun. But I actually would turn Mario Bros. 3 on just for fun, because even today I enjoy Mario Bros. 3. Mario Bros. 2 is kind of like 1 to me. I like Mario Bros. 2 more than 1. I liked how different it was. You can like pick up enemies and stuff. But I don't know. I'm just not a huge fan of Mario Bros. 1 or 2. But don't give me, like, I like the games, but I don't go crazy over them. And don't even get me started on Lost Levels. That game was, if it wasn't for the rewind function, I wouldn't have beaten that game. And I try not to rewind, because like for those of you who don't know, when you play games on Nintendo Switch Online, you can rewind. Like if you die, I can just go back a few seconds, right? And I kind of abused that system when I played the Lost Levels because that game is ridiculously unfairly difficult. It was kind of bullcrap. So yeah, I hate that game. But I really like Mario Bros. 3. I don't know, aesthetically it looks the best out of all of the ones on the NES. I think it works the best, like just the controls. Like yeah, like it's H2 obviously, but I don't know, I think it's I think it's the most fun, you know. Anyway, those are just my 2 thoughts on Mario Bros. And the NES library. I kind of destroyed World 1 there, didn't I? Alright, I guess it's time to move on to my SNES pick. So, without a doubt, Yoshi's Island has got to be my favorite SNES game. And I chose the second level here so I don't have to go through the tutorial in the first level. Yeah, Yoshi's Island is such a special game to me. It holds such a special place in my heart. Now, same thing with Yoshi's Island as applied to Kirby's Nightmare and Dreamland. I never played this on the original hardware. I never played this on the SNES because, like I mentioned, I didn't grow up. Oh, ooh, that guy almost got me. I love this level, the flying chain chomps. Yeah, like I mentioned, I never grew up with an NES or an SNES, right? So, when I played this game as a kid, it was I think it was also on the Game Boy remake. It was like one of the Super Mario. It was part of the Super Mario Advance series. Like I think it was Super Mario Advance. I don't know, 1, 2, 3, or 4. Basically, just a remake or port of Yoshi's Island. So yeah, that's how I played this game on the Game Boy. It was a big part of my childhood, actually. Like, you know, I never like 100%ed it, like with all the red coins and with all the flowers and stuff. Like that was kind of hard to do it. Like as a kid, I would just run through the levels. But I don't know. I just like this game. Like just, I mean, the controls. You play as Yoshi. You get to eat your enemies and shoot them out as eggs. You know, so the controls are so much fun. But not only that, just the art, like aesthetically, like. I don't even know how to describe it. I wouldn't know how to describe it to a friend. It's like, I've heard people describe this game as like, almost like an art book. Like it looks like a crafty, something you see out of an art book. I could see that. You know, the Yoshi games have always kind of been testing different, like, aesthetics, I guess. Like even today, like Yoshi's Woolly World for the Wii U. It's, well, Yoshi's World, but it's everything's made of wool and yarn. And then you have Crafted World for the Switch, and everything's like crafty and like made of like paper, like construction paper, and everything's like bent together with like tape, and it's just, I mean, it looks kind of cool. Like the Yoshi games have always kind of been very pleasing to the eye, I would say. And I would really love another Yoshi game that looks like this. Just, I don't know, I just have so much nostalgia for this game. And the music in this game is really great too. I love the Yoshi soundtrack. I don't know if you guys saw the trailer for the new Mario Kart DLC, but they showed off that new track, and like in the next DLC for Mario Kart, there's an original track. It's brand new. It's Yoshi Island themed. The track is just called Yoshi's Island, and it looks so much. It takes like heavy inspiration from this game. Like if you watch the trailer, it's crazy. Like the whole environment, the enemies. They even have those like flying question mark bubbles at one point, and you could fly through that when you're gliding as a cart, and it'll like it expands the track, and it makes the same noise as it does in this game when you break the little question mark flying things. It's so interesting, and I don't know when that DLC is supposed to come out. I think probably in another month or two. It's supposed to come out in the spring sometime. It'll probably come out in March, because that's when the first DLC came out last year. So it'll probably mirror pretty close to last year, I imagine. So we'll probably get it like in March. Probably, yeah, I'd say so. But yeah, Yoshi's Island is, like I said, I absolutely love this game. Now, as far as other games I've played on the SNES, I think my experience with the SNES is actually even more limited than my experience was for the NES. Because I at least played 5 games, like beginning to end on the NES, the 4 Mario games and the Kirby game, as I mentioned. But I was just looking at the library on the app here before I selected Yoshi's Island. I was just looking at all the other SNES games that are on Nintendo Switch Online. No. Damn, that guy flew away. Whatever. And yeah, I've only played a few of them. So, obviously Yoshi's Island. Like, I grew up with this game on the Game Boy. I absolutely love this game. But I've also played Mario World. Like, that's Super Mario World is like one of the greatest Mario platformers. It's so dear to so many people's hearts, and I could totally get behind that. I mean, Super Mario World. Actually, Super Mario World was Yoshi's first appearance. Fun fact. But yeah, Super Mario World is awesome. I love that game. I love it even more than Mario Bros. 3. It's basically just a sequel. It's basically Mario Bros. 4. Like, it's the Mario Bros. Of the SNES. You know what? If I remember correct, I don't know if I like that level. I think that's a cave level. Let's just do this boss fight real quick, and then I'll move on to the next game on the N64. But yeah, Mario World. But like the SNES, like they were able to improve the graphics so much more for the SNES. Everything looks so beautiful. Just aesthetically, the background. I know I've said aesthetically so many times in this video. I'll try not to say it so many more, but it's true. The graphics on the SNES really improved a lot, even since the NES. And Mario World looks beautiful. Like, yeah, it's a simple game and stuff, but it was great back then, and I think it's great even now. I didn't grow up, I didn't play Super Mario World growing up. I didn't have it, because Super Mario World also had a remake on the Game Boy Advance. I don't remember which one it was, but I'm pretty sure Super Mario World was part of the Super Mario Advance games on the Game Boy. But I didn't have that one. So I didn't play Super Mario World for the first time until I played it on Nintendo Switch Online, which was, I think, a couple years ago. So yeah, I played Mario World like way later than a lot of people, than most people who grew up with this game. I'm just gonna kind of skip through the level. I'm not gonna go back and get those coins. I have a lot of other games I gotta get to in this video, so I'm just gonna skip part of the level. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, I never played Mario World growing up. I just played it a couple years ago on SNES Online. Another game I played quite a bit is Mario Kart, the very first Mario Kart. That's another one I didn't grow up on. I don't think there was ever any remakes or anything of Super Mario Kart. So yeah, I only played Super Mario Kart on Nintendo Switch Online, same as Mario World. But I actually played quite a bit. I have quite a fair amount of hours logged in Super Mario Kart. It's my least favorite Mario Kart, but I still love it a lot. I mean, I don't love it, but I don't know. I just think it has a sort of, as the first, it's kind of like Mario Bros. 1. I don't love it. Obviously every game that comes after is an improvement and it gets better, so it's kind of hard to go back and play those older games. But as the first game in the franchise, it holds weight. It was the start of something really cool, right? So I have played quite a bit of Super Mario Kart. Got pretty good at it, actually, and I still go back to it every once in a while on Nintendo Switch Online. But those are the only 3 games I can think of that I actually played, that I actually thoroughly played on the SNES. So Super Mario Kart, Super Mario World, and then Yoshi's Island. There's a bunch more that I've tried, just like on the NES, but I never beat. The Zelda game. What was this one called? I think it was Link to the Past. So I started it, but I never finished it. Well, it was more like just me fooling around. I don't think I seriously started it intending to finish it on Nintendo Switch Online again, but I will eventually go back because I want to play all the Zelda games, all the ones that I haven't played. So eventually, one of these days, I'll go back and, I'll start a proper playthrough of Link to the Past. I think that's what it's called. I'll start a proper playthrough of that and finish it, because from everything I've heard, it's a really good game. You know, like, so I'll play that at some point. I'll play, oh yeah, Super Metroid. Another great one. I've heard so many great things about Super Metroid. I've tried it for a few minutes and fooled around in that game again, but same thing with like Zelda. I didn't like commit like, you know, my time to actually beat that game. I was mostly just kind of fooling around, checking out a little bit, and it seemed cool. So one of these days I'll go back and I'll finish that too. But yeah, never like beat Super Metroid. And what other popular SNES games are there? It's probably a few more. I think Earthbound was like pretty big on the SNES. I think that only came out, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Earthbound only come out in Japan at first? And it was called, I think it was called Mother. I know that sounds weird, but I think it was called Mother. And then it got an American release and it was Earthbound. I don't know. I might be wrong about that. But oh, come here, Mario. Oh no. Oh no. Get out here. But yeah. You know what? I like the bosses in this game. I really like the frog boss. Do you remember that level? It's like later in the game. I don't know. It might be World 4 or 5. And there's a big frog. He eats you because like Kamek will come and make all the bosses big, but in the frog boss fight, he just makes Yoshi small. The frog's the same size. You're just shrunk, and the frog eats you, and then you have to like throw eggs at his uvula or something. Pretty wild stuff. Pretty cool though. I don't know. I really like that boss fight a lot. Oh, but the final boss at the very end is so cool when Bowser's in the background. And you have to like throw it at him, but he gets closer and closer. It's kind of scary. Like when I was a kid, that was a scary boss fight. Pretty cool boss fight. But yeah, like I said, this game holds such a special place in my heart and is undoubtedly my favorite SNES game of all time. And with that, let's move on to my N64 pick. Okay, I just had to go with Diddy Kong Racing because this was one of my this was another one of my favorite games growing up. This game was a banger. I'm trying to remember some of these tracks. Like, let's see here. What's a fun track? I want to do one where maybe you fly around. That one's pretty hard. This a boss? That's the boss. Okay, well, let's just start easy on the first one. We'll do a few races. Oh, I get to pick. You know what? Let's just start. Yeah, I don't really care about that. Can I race with the other people, or is this like a time trial? I don't remember. Okay, no, I got the other people. So it's hard. There's a few Nintendo 64 games that I really love. I think if I sat down and really ranked all my favorite N64 games, Mario 64 might be number one. The only reason I didn't pick that today over Diddy Kong Racing was because I'm such a big Mario fan, and I have a lot of Mario games on my list, and a lot of games I've already played. Well, I already played Mario Bros. 3 and Yoshi's Island, and Yoshi's Island is kind of a Mario spin-off. I mean, you could argue Diddy Kong is kind of a spin-off as well, because Diddy Kong is kind of a spin-off from Donkey Kong, and Donkey Kong is kind of a Mario character, but also kind of a spin-off from the Mario franchise. Nonetheless, Diddy Kong is a little bit more removed, I would say, than Yoshi. Yoshi's really closely associated with Mario. Donkey Kong and Diddy have kind of, even though they're in the same universe as Mario, they've kind of been looked at as an independent franchise. So I'll allow it. So, but yeah, I think Mario 64 might be that's probably my favorite N64 game. I actually have a video on this channel where I speedrun Super Mario 64. It's 70-star speedrun. That was actually a very fun video. I'll probably do that again at some point. Maybe do a 120-star speedrun or something. I guess select a new track. Yeah. I remember this one. Well, that one's pretty basic. Screw it. Let's go for this hard one. I think you got to use airplane. I could use a boat. Let's just use the plane. So yeah, but Mario 64 is definitely my favorite. I'd say definitely, or pretty close. I just love like jumping through all the paintings and all the different worlds in that game. And the N64, like I mentioned, I did have an N64 growing up. So a lot of the N64 games I played, I played on the original hardware. I'm playing this on the original hardware because Diddy Kong Racing isn't on the N64 Nintendo Switch Online app. Maybe it'll come someday. I hope it does because I love Diddy Kong Racing. But I had to hook up my old N64. That's what I'm using right now. And then just what other games I played? I did play Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask growing up on the N64. I don't think I actually beat any of them. I probably could today, but as a kid, because Zelda is a little bit more challenging. It's a little bit more like puzzle-y. Like you gotta solve certain puzzles when you go through the dungeons, and it can be a little bit harder. So I don't think I actually beat those games. I might have gotten close with Majora's Mask. I actually did quite a bit in Majora's Mask as a kid. I don't remember. It's been so many years. So I don't think I beat it though, but I did progress pretty far. And then Ocarina of Time, and I didn't really progress all that far. I would just kind of fool around a little bit, ride the horse around the different areas. I didn't really do too much in that game. I also really loved James Bond. That just came to the Nintendo Switch Online. You can play James Bond on there, which is awesome because I love that James Bond game. Me and my brother and my sister used to play it so much growing up. We would just like pick a map and just fool around. That game was so much fun to play with friends. I definitely recommend, like if you have a Switch and you have Nintendo Switch Online and you haven't played it, just grab a couple of buddies one night and play that James Bond game. Just you go into multiplayer, so it's like a free-for-all, but there's different modes. You can have like different guns on or off. The golden gun is fun if you have like golden gun only, because the golden gun is a one bullet kill. It'll kill you no matter what, because like the other guns, like you have to shoot them multiple times, you know, to get a hit, like to kill them. But the golden gun, you can shoot them in the toe and they'll die. I don't know, it's just kind of funny. Or like the proximity mines. It's just that game too, like I don't know, I mean, I can't say every game has a special place in my heart, but a lot of these games do. Like, I guess gaming was kind of a big part of my childhood. Let's see here, what other map? Wait a minute, Treasure Caves. I think, you know what, this beachy one looks fun. I don't really remember. Oh, Hover, yeah, we'll do that this time. I don't really remember a lot of these tracks like off the top of my head. It's been so many. Oh, Banjo. Banjo was great too. Banjo-Kazooie. I never played that on the original hardware. I played Banjo 64. Is it just called Banjo 64 or Banjo and Kazooie? Anyway, that Banjo-Kazooie N64 game, I played that very recently. I played that for the first time a couple months ago. I never had it growing up, but I played it on the app. So, another fun game. Reminds me a lot of Super Mario 64, actually. And a buddy of mine was telling me that Super Mario 64 was kind of like the inspiration for Banjo, so it makes sense. It's a pretty fun platformer, great music. I think I prefer Mario. Some people prefer Banjo-Kazooie over Mario 64. I still think I prefer Mario 64. I don't know, maybe I'm just more nostalgic for it because I grew up with it, but I don't know. And another game that I really loved on the N64 growing up was this. I don't know if this one's gonna. Okay, Toy Story. For those of you who don't know, there was a Toy Story 2 game. So, you know, like some of you might not know that. You might be thinking, like, what do you mean, Dom? Like the Toy Story the movie? Yeah, but like the toys that come to life when Andy's gone? Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. There was a video game based on the second movie. It was actually a lot of fun. You know, maybe if I go back to it now, maybe it wouldn't be as good. I don't know, but I remember it being so much fun when I was a kid. You play as Buzz, but in the world is like huge because you're like the toy. There's so many different worlds. Like you start off in Andy's house, you can explore the whole house, like the living room, kitchen, bathroom, the basement, like the attic, the whole house. But it's like giant, so it's actually a pretty big map, and like there's these different tasks you have to do. And there's enemies, you have to use your like laser to like kill the enemies and like the Zurg bosses and stuff. It's actually a really fun game. Yeah, off the top of my head, that's just another one that I really loved playing growing up. I'm trying to think if there's any more. I'm sure there's probably a couple more, but that's all I can think of off the top of my head. I never played Yoshi's Story. I never played Kirby and the Crystal Shards. I plan to go back to both of those games on the app. I'll play those eventually at some point. And what are the big games? Was there a Star Fox game? I think there was. Star Fox 64. Yes, there was. Yeah, you know what? I'll do one more race here. Should I do like I'll do one of these snowy ones, I guess, or Dragon. I don't know. Well, that one looks interesting. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. I don't remember this one. I don't know. Well, it does look a little bit familiar, but it's been so many years. I really hope they put Diddy Kong Racing on the app, because I'd love to play this like online, Nintendo Switch Online with my friends. That'd be so cool. You know what? Donkey Kong 64 is another one I just remembered. Donkey Kong 64 was cool because that was the first 3D Donkey Kong game. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think there's been a 3D Donkey Kong game since that. I think that was the only Donkey Kong that was 3D. I never played that on the original hardware. I only played that a couple years ago. It's not on the app. Like, you can't play it Nintendo Switch Online. But I bought it physically from the retro gaming store that's by my house. And I gave it a try. I haven't beaten it yet, but seemed cool. I don't know. Probably would have been, you know what? Probably would have been cooler if I did grow up with it, because I feel like a lot of the games I played, I am probably just nostalgic for. So if I grew up with like Donkey Kong 64, for example, or Banjo-Kazooie, I probably love it a lot more, like I do with Mario 64. I don't know, but who knows? But yeah, that's another one. Animal Crossing didn't get a game until the GameCube, so we'll get to that later. Spoiler alert, I didn't play it though. My first one was the new one on the Switch, like New Horizons or something. I actually played quite a bit of that when it first came out. Like for the first year, I played, like, You Should See My Island on Animal Crossing New Horizons. I think it's impressive. I mean, it's not. I visited like other top tier players' islands. It's not like that. It's not like incredibly amazing, but I think it's pretty good for my standards. I don't know. I'm not doing too good. I'm in 8th place. Let me think. I think, yeah, that's all I can think of off the top of my head. I don't know, now that I'm playing Banjo-Kazooie again, all the memories are coming back to me, all the good times I had. Me and my brother and sister used to play this a lot too. So it's close between this and Mario 64, like which one is my favorite, but if I really had to say, I think Mario 64 is still my favorite N64 game of all time. And I think Diddy Kong Racing is probably my second favorite game. I really love Diddy Kong Racing. I love the story mode too. That was so much fun. Like, it was so different. Like, a story mode in a racing game. Like, no Mario Kart has done that except for the one. I think Mario Kart DS had like a story mode or an adventure mode. I don't know why they don't do it more. It was such a cool idea. Crash racing game had a story mode. I forget what it was called, but I had a Crash Bandicoot racing game on the GameCube. I think it was like, I don't remember what it was called, but it had an adventure mode, and that was pretty cool too. I don't know why racing games don't do that more often. But anyway, on to the GameCube now. Alright, so I chose Smash Brawl, or Melee, sorry. Brawl is the next one in the series. Because honestly, how could I not pick Melee? Okay, what am I going to do here? I guess I'll just do some regular matches. Classic, I think. Let's see. I'll just start off with Mario. Let's see. We'll go normal. So Smash Bros. Smash Bros is one of my favorite. Oh, I forgot about this. It's like a whole little mini storyline here. The classic mode. So Smash Bros is like one of my favorite series, like, of Nintendo. And like all the other games on this list, Melee is like one of. Well, I know I keep saying that all these games are like so special to me, but this is a really special GameCube game to me. Speaking about Smash, I didn't even mention Smash 64 when I was playing the Diddy Kong Racing. Smash 64 is another game that I only played as of recently. I never played it on the original hardware. Never even had it. My first Smash game was Melee, and I had Melee growing up. So I played this one a ton on my GameCube as a kid. But I got Smash 64, same as Donkey Kong 64 from earlier. I got Super Smash Bros. 64 just a couple years ago from Video Game Trader. From this they're a little store by my house, the retro gaming store. So so I tried it out then, and it's pretty cool. I mean, it's probably not my favorite Smash. You could definitely tell, like, again, just like I was talking earlier about some of the other first games in the franchise, like Mario Bros. 1 and whatever. Like, you can definitely tell, like it improved a lot since then, right? Even in Melee, like, even Melee is just a big improvement from Smash 64. I don't really play Smash 64 for fun. And again, maybe it'd be different if I grew up with it, but I don't really care much for Smash 64. But all the other Smash games are pretty important to me, I guess, or I played a lot of them. Played a lot of Captain Falcon. Son of a, this hammer is pretty cool though. Oh, I guess that beat him. How long is this? I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11-ish stages. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have time to go through all of this. I don't want to spend too much time per game. I don't need this video being like, 3 hours long. I'll just play this for a few more minutes, and whenever I need to move on to the next one, I'll just move on to the Wii. But just talking more about the Smash Bros. Series. Wait, is Yoshi? No, they're not. He's not on my team. But more about the Smash Bros. Series in general. Smash Brawl is another good one on the Wii. Actually, I just did a video about Smash Brawl. It was Smash Brawl's 15th anniversary. Did I just kill myself? Oh, that's embarrassing. It's been a while since I'm a little rusty. Oh, am I just back on the main screen? Okay, well, let's just do, versus. That's what I wanted to do anyway. Just a regular match. You know what? Is there no random? Oh, there's no random on this one. Well, I want to go Captain Falcon, because Captain Falcon is kind of the GOAT. We'll do a random. Bowser's fine. We're going to do stock, because stock is kind of where it's at. The stages. I forgot about some of these legendary stages. Man, this one's good. There's a lot of really good stages here. Damn, let's just, you know what? I really like this one a lot. I think this is from Star Fox, I think. So yeah, as I was saying, it was Smash Bros. Brawl's 15th anniversary on January 31st this year. So I just did a video a couple weeks ago about that. It was like 30 facts for Smash Brawl's 15th anniversary. So that was pretty cool. So yeah, Brawl was a pretty big part of my childhood as well. And then by the time Smash 4 came out on the Wii U, it wasn't really so much like, I mean, it was still a big game to me, I would say, but it wasn't really part of my childhood anymore. I was more of like a teenager when Smash 4 came out. Me and my friends still played it a ton, but I was like in high school by the time Smash 4 came out, and by the time we played it a ton. So, and same with Ultimate. Like when Ultimate came out a few years ago, I was just finished high school, so it's not really, doesn't really count as a childhood game, but it still counts as like, I still look at, like, Smash Ultimate is one of my favorite games on the Switch. Like, it is. So all in all, really big fan of this series. Woo! So I did think about playing Mario Sunshine for my GameCube choice, because Mario, honestly, it's the same as I had with the N64, the same kind of problem. Because as I stated, Mario 64 is probably my favorite N64 game. But I already had so many Mario games on my list, so I was like, well, I'll just play Diddy Kong Racing. It's kind of the same deal here. Mario Sunshine was such a it was such an amazing game to me. I know I keep saying that about all these games, but I loved Mario Sunshine so much. You know, and having FLUDD, it was different from it was different from 64, but like really unique in its own way. Can I just pick random for my enemy? Oh, I guess so. Yeah, okay, we'll go with Ness. And can I make him harder? CPU level? Ooh, okay, yeah, let's go there. Bowser was a little too easy. I think this will be the last match, then I'll move on. Let's do Fountain of Dreams. This is a good one from Kirby. So yeah, Mario Sunshine is probably my favorite GameCube game. Like that game changed my life. As did so many other games, apparently. But because there's so many Mario games that I didn't want this video to just be like me playing a ton of Mario games. So that I took some liberties. So as I did with the N64 one. So another liberty here. Sunshine's probably my actual favorite GameCube game. But Melee's really close up there. Melee's got to be like my second or third. Pretty high up there when I think about GameCube games. Other GameCube games that I can think of off the top of my head that I really love. Obviously Double Dash. Mario Kart Double Dash was revolutionary. One of the most popular Mario Kart games, I'd say. You know, you having like 2 drivers. It was really interesting. And really great tracks too. Double Dash had some really great tracks. And then Luigi's Mansion was a really good game. That was, when I was small, that was like a scary game, but such a fun game too. You like literally go through a mansion. It's like a maze, unlocking these keys to like continue your advancement, taking out the ghosts. Such a different game, and it was like, it was so unexpected, you know, like, because Nintendo's usually pretty family friendly, I'd say. And like, it's not like Luigi's Mansion was like The Exorcist or anything, obviously not, but it was still something. I don't think we had seen Nintendo do anything like that before. And I think that's just about it. I never played the Animal Crossing on GameCube. There was a Captain Falcon game on the GameCube, funny enough, but I never played that one either. There was Metroid Prime. I never played Metroid Prime. I've never played a Metroid Prime game in my life, but Metroid Prime Remastered just came out, and I am going to get that very soon. I don't have it yet, but very soon I'm going to get Metroid Prime Remastered. It'll be the first time I play a Metroid Prime game. I actually own all of them though. Like because I collect games too, right? Like from the retro gaming store that's near my house. So I buy games that I intend to play. Like, so I own all of the Metroid Prime games. I have 1 and 2 on GameCube, and I have Metroid Prime 3 for the Wii. And I could play them, but I mean to, but I just haven't gotten around. But when I do finally play Metroid Prime 1, it's gonna be soon since the remaster came out. Like it's really high on my priorities. So I'll play Metroid Prime 1 soon, and then after that, I suspect I'll play 2 and 3 soon after. And then what other GameCube games was there big for Nintendo? I can't think. You know what? There was a Star Fox game, I think. And I think that's when we were introduced to Crystal. I believe so. So yeah, but the biggest ones that I really loved were Luigi's Mansion, Sunshine, Double Dash, and Melee. I think those were like the four big ones. Yeah, and let's move on to the Wii now. So Super Mario Galaxy is my choice of Wii. And as you can see here, I've gotten all 121 stars. I think I just copied the profile into this one. I did it with both Mario and Luigi. So obviously, you could tell I love this game. I'm just playing the 3D All-Stars version on the Switch. But yeah, Mario Galaxy, a lot of people really love Super Mario Galaxy. It's a really beloved Wii game, both Galaxy 1 and 2. It's probably, Super Mario Galaxy is probably a lot of people's favorite game, favorite Wii game. Let's see here. You know what, let's do one from Honey Hive Galaxy. I'm feeling Honey Hive today. And if I have time, maybe I'll do a quick one from Space Junk Galaxy. Let's see here. I guess we'll do this one. It's like a boss fight, right? The big bad Bugaboom. I gotta go fight the creepy crawly. Something like that. And I'm playing with the Joy-Cons. So I prefer, like when 3D All-Stars came out and I got to replay like 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy. Like for the most part, I prefer my Pro Controller, and that's my choice of controller for like nearly all Nintendo games, like on my Switch, that is. But I've always played, whenever I play Galaxy on here, I always use the Joy-Cons because it just mimics the Wii controller a lot more. It just feels like, you know, because the Joy-Cons feel a lot more like how the Wii controller and the Joy-Con was. You know, you kind of have them in each hand, they're not jointed together. So that's kind of my choice for that. And where do I go here? I think I have to... Does this guy give me a spring? No. Hold on here. Do I go this way? Maybe we gotta kill this guy too. I thought a spring spawned there. Oh no! Don't die! Oh my god. Dude, I would've been so mad if I died there. Alright. No, there's nothing here. I gotta go up there somehow, right? Do I go this way? I don't think so. This does not look right. What the heck is going on here? Okay, I figured it out. I'm just supposed to use this stupid bee mushroom here and advance with that. Also, I realized that when I was playing Melee and I was talking about some of the other GameCube games, I totally disregarded the Zelda games. Wind Waker, and there was... the other big one was Twilight Princess. So I did play Twilight Princess. I never beat it, but I had the Wii version, so I never had the GameCube version of Twilight Princess. And then Wind Waker is another one of those funny games. I never played it as a kid growing up. I never had it on the original, like, well, I never had it on the GameCube growing up. But I bought in Wind Waker in recent years, again, from that retro gaming store near my house. And since then I have played Wind Waker. So a couple other really great Melee games. Now, picking a favorite Wii game was tough too, because there's so many great ones off the top of my head. Obviously, you have Galaxy 1 and Galaxy 2. And then, I'm a huge fan of Mario Kart. As I mentioned, like Double Dash for GameCube was amazing. And Mario Kart Wii for a long time was my favorite Mario Kart, but Mario Kart 8 Deluxe just surpassed it, I think. But I still love Mario Kart Wii, like, a lot, obviously. And then, what else is there? There was quite a few. I think there was well, you have Metroid Prime 3, but like I mentioned earlier, I never actually played Metroid Prime. There was a Pikmin. Oh, there was a couple. Okay, so yeah, there was like a Pikmin 3, I think, or something for the Wii, or maybe Pikmin. No, Pikmin 3 came out on the Wii U. Was it Pikmin 2 on the Wii? Maybe. I'm not really that big into Pikmin either. Oh, can I get this guy? There we go. But then there was Mario Bros. Wii, like, so Super Mario Bros. Wii. That was such a fantastic game to play, like, with friends and stuff. You could say Twilight Princess, because that's the version I had. I had the Wii version of Twilight Princess. There's probably more than that too. I'm just not thinking of off the top of my head. There was like this Wario game I really liked. Oh, Paper Mario, Super Paper Mario was another great one that I love. Those are all the big ones I can think of off the top of my head. You know what? Donkey Kong Country Returns is another really great Wii game. And, well, spoiler alert, there's a Donkey Kong game coming up in this video. Let's see here. Maybe, should I do one more quickly? Let me just go quickly to Space Junk Galaxy, because that's one of my favorite galaxies. There's a few galaxies I really love in this game. I really love Freeze Flame Galaxy. That was a lot of fun too. Gusty Garden Galaxy is great. Also, I totally disregarded the Mario Party series, like in talking about all the other games. I'm a pretty big fan of Mario Party. It's a really fun family game or game to play with a group of friends. I don't really find myself playing Mario Party a lot by myself. Let's see here. Let's just do the first one, Pulsar Path. So yeah, I don't really play Mario Party a lot by myself. It's mostly like when I have friends over, or like me and my family used to play it all the time. My favorite Mario Party is Mario Party 8, which came out on the Wii. So I absolutely love Mario Party 8. I love all the ones before 9 and 10. I didn't really like the change that they did in 9 and 10. It just felt so different than how Mario Party... Like, it was such a radical change, having all the characters in a car together. It took so much, like, competition away, you know, like, it took so much strategy away, like, the different paths and stuff, and how you could kind of screw people over. That was kind of just how Mario Party was. It was fun, but there was also, like, somebody would always get screwed over, and I don't know. I just kind of missed that. So I think the first 8, you know, the first 3 for N64, and then there was 4, 5, 6, and 7 for the GameCube, and then 8 came out for the Wii. So yeah, those first 8, really love those first 8 Mario Parties. I think they're all pretty great. The DS one's pretty good too, actually. I had that one as a kid growing up. Bowser, like, shrinks all of you. So yeah. And there was the Wario game. I may have already mentioned the Wario game on the Wii. What was it? It was like Wario Shake It Up or something. That was pretty fun too. Yeah, it's been so many years since I played it, but it reminded me a bit of. I mean, it's a Wario platformer, so it reminds me of like Wario Land, you know. But yeah, that was a fun game too, from memory. And I think those are all the big Wii games I can think of. Oh, obviously the Smash, so Brawl, the big Smash game for the Wii, which is another one of my favorites. I have so many favorites. like I don't know. If everything is my favorite, how could I actually have a favorite? If I really sat down and thought about it, I could give you a definitive favorite game from every system, I'm sure. But there's just so many games that, you know, that I grew up with and that I just have fond memories with. It's hard to like give you a definitive, this is my number 1 favorite. It's more like, these are my favorites, you know. Captain Toad. Yeah, that was another fun game, actually. Captain Toad came out for the Wii U. I have the Switch version of it, though. I never had it for Wii U. It's kind of a puzzly game. They kind of tested it out in Mario 3D World. If you have Mario 3D World for the Wii U, there's like Captain Toad levels in there, and then I guess, I wonder if they were like using that as like a test to like see how people would respond to it, and I guess enough people liked it because then they made a whole game based off that, and I like the game. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like my favorite game ever, you know, it's like but like it was so fun to go through. Like, it didn't take me very long to beat. I think it only took a few days. It's not a particularly long game, but still a fun game, like to sit down and just kind of walk around, move the environment, like because you get to like use the one stick to move Toad, but then use the other stick to like, you can rotate and move the environment. Toad doesn't jump either, so it's like, it's just like, it's very puzzly, but it's pretty cool actually, for what it's worth, you know. When I made my I made a top 10 Wii U games of all time a little bit ago, and Captain Toad, I think, was like number 9 on there or something. So it's not like my favorite, but I like the game. I should do the same thing, I think, for the other systems. I should make videos like top 10 Wii games, top 10 GameCube games, and give you like a definitive list, you know. That'd be pretty fun, I think. Anyway, those are my thoughts on Galaxy and the Wii. Let's move on to the Wii U. So one of my favorite Wii U games of all time has got to be Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. This game is literally one of the best platformers I've ever played. I think what was I doing here? I've already completed the game. I think I was going through to like 100% everything, get all the puzzle pieces. Let me see if I can find a fun level. This world was a lot of fun. Every level is just so unique and has like such an interesting gimmick. Oh yeah, that one. Okay, let's do this one, because there's like tornadoes and twisters. So yeah, I'm playing the Switch version just because it's easier for me. I own it on the Wii U, but I'm just playing the Switch version of Tropical Freeze, so I don't have to boot up my Wii U system. But yeah, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze and even Donkey Kong Country Returns on the Wii are some of the best platformers I've ever played. See, I'm a huge Mario fan, so I love all the Mario platformers. Like you have the original Mario Bros. 1, 2, and 3, you have Super Mario World, and then you have like the new Super Mario Bros. Series, which I talked a little bit about when I was playing Galaxy. You have like new Super Mario Bros. Wii, and then you have like new Super Mario Bros. Wii U, DS, and you know, like the ones on the Wii and Wii U are multiplayer. You get to play them like with your friends and stuff, which are so much fun. But my one complaint about it, and I love Mario, like he's probably like my favorite gaming character, you know, but I find those games a little too easy, I guess. I don't know, and the boss fights are so easy, like it's always a Koopa Kid, like in the newer games particularly, but even in the older ones, like in Super Mario World, there was like the Koopa Kids. I think in Mario Bros. 3 it was too, wasn't it? I think it was. And you just hit them on the head 3 times, but it's usually, oh god, it's usually so easy though. It's not really, what I'm trying, I find those games way too, like they're fun, they're enjoyable. I still love going back and playing them, but these Donkey Kong games are like, I wouldn't say they're like insanely difficult, but some levels in this game and Donkey Kong Country Returns are definitely a challenge for sure. And that makes it like so much more fun, I think, because you don't want it to be too easy. When it's a bit of a challenge, you know, it feels more rewarding. And not only that, I think this game's way more creative. Like honestly, every level in this game, there's some like unique gimmick that's not overused. Like look, there's lightning now. Look at this. But there's no other level in this game that uses these tornadoes or lightning. Like they won't reuse it. I mean, they might reuse a couple gimmicks, but I don't remember these tornadoes coming back. But so many other levels, like in the level after this, I saw on the map, it was like the forest fire level, because this world, this whole island's like a jungle-y theme, right? So this level in particular is like tornado and like weather themed, I guess. The next one's like a forest fire, and just the way they design the levels. How do I get past this? I don't. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, it's just there's so much fun, and like the barrel levels. Oh God! There's levels where you're like in a mine cart, and you have to like jump and stuff. There's if you've played these games before, you know what I'm talking about. There's so much fun. I've never played the Donkey Kong Country games on the SNES. There's like 3 of them, Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, and 3. I heard that they're really good even to this day, and one of my buddies played all 3 of them recently on Nintendo Switch Online, and told me that they're really good and that they're actually like on the same level as Donkey Kong Country Returns and Tropical Freeze is today. So I'm definitely going to plan to go back and play those games at some point. Oh God. Oh, come back here, Rhino. So yeah, I'll go back and play those at some point for sure. Yeah, but and the boss fights in this game, like every world is a boss fight. The bosses are really challenging, actually. Sometimes it's frustratingly difficult, but then when you beat them, it's like it's so satisfying, right? So that's the thing. That's the payoff. Like I actually prefer that. You know, so like, oh God, all this lightning and stuff. Like the Mario games are just a little too easy, but like this game, especially the final boss fight, like it's so difficult. Like you're like gnashing your teeth, but then when you finally get it, there's like a huge payoff. So it's just such a fun. Like look at this. Like we're in a big tornado, and the platforms are like flying because of the big tornado in the background. It's just I just love these environments and stuff. This is honestly such a fun game, you know. Now other Wii U games that are fun. You know what? So when I made that list, when I made my Super Mario, or when I made my top 10 Wii U favorite games of all time for the Wii U's 10th anniversary last year, my number 1 on the list was actually, it wasn't Donkey Kong. It was actually, this is going to sound contradictory because I'm just talking about how much I think Mario is too easy and how I want it to be more difficult like Donkey Kong, but it was Super Mario 3D World, which is like kind of like the Mario Bros. Series games, but it's like 3D, I guess. It's like these 3D environments, but you go through the level. It's still pretty linear, but you play with a group of friends. That game, I would say, it's also pretty easy. but the difference between Super Mario 3D World and other Mario games, particularly like the Mario Bros series. So the difference between Super Mario 3D World with Mario Bros Wii U and Super Mario Bros on the Wii is I find Super Mario 3D World way more creative. Like, it's still pretty easy. The bosses are still like super easy, but that game is a lot like Donkey Kong Country in terms of every level was so creative and unique. It was just, I don't know, it was such a like breath of fresh air. Like a lot of people really like 3D World, and I played through Mario 3D World so many times. Like if you include the Switch version, because I have it on the Switch with the Bowser's Fury edition. If you include the one on the Switch, I've played through that game, no joke, probably 6 or 7 times beginning to end. Like, I've played through that. Oh, I got all the puzzle pieces and stuff. That's pretty sick. Should I do one more level? Yeah, maybe I'll do one more level. But yeah, I played through Mario 3D World. This is the forest fire level I was talking about. But I played through Super Mario 3D World so many times. It is one of the, it's like, I would say it is for sure my favorite Wii U game. On my list, it was my #1 spot, and I think that is consistent. The only reason I chose Donkey Kong over it for the video, kind of the same deal as why I chose Diddy Kong Racing over Mario 64, and why I chose Melee over Super Mario Sunshine. I just didn't want every game to be Mario themed. So, I mean, so that's why I chose the Tropical Freeze, which is a very honorable mention. Like, I think on my list, I think it was the 3rd or 4th game. I think it was the 4th game, because I think I had Mario Kart 8 was number 3. Number 2 was Smash Wii U, and Smash Bros for the Wii U may not have been like the best Smash game, but I still had so much fun with it. It's just the memories I have with it with my friends. Like, me and my friends played Smash for the Wii U like so many times. Like, after school, we just hang out and play that game. So I have so many fond memories of that one as well. So I did rank that above Donkey Kong, and I think I ranked Mario Kart 8 above it as well. So yeah, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze was like 4th on my list, but still that's not a knock on Donkey Kong. That's just a testimony to how well, you know, I love the other games, and how much like I associate them with like some of my memories and stuff as a child, I guess, growing up. Because Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is still legendary. Like, this is such a terrific game. These are the best 2D platforms I ever played, right? And those Mario games that I think are too easy and maybe not super creative, the Wii, like Mario Bros. Wii and Mario Bros. Wii U are 2D platformers. I think Donkey Kong Country are like much better 2D platformers. I think they're the best 2D platforms I ever played. But Super Mario 3D World, the one that I think I like a little bit more than Donkey Kong Country, it's a 3D platformer, still easy, like I said, but it's super creative. I always get a kick going back and playing Super Mario 3D World, always. Yeah, it's a really fun game, so I recommend that one a lot. Mario Kart 8 obviously was a really big part of my childhood too. I remember getting that like almost right away when it came out, like in the spring 2014. We haven't had a new Mario Kart game in almost 10 years. I mean, at least we're getting a bunch of DLC tracks, I guess. But yeah, and then Donkey Kong and Smash Bros. Wii U. And then what were some of the other games? Well, other games I had on my list, well, Captain Toad, which I talked about a little bit already. I think I just killed myself. Yeah, I knew I was going to kill myself the second I jumped off the ledge there. So yeah, Captain Toad is like one, which I talked about. Pretty fun puzzle game. I also had the Lego... Which one was it? Okay, how do I get past here, seriously? Because that'll burn me, right? Oh no, maybe not. Oh, the fire, it wasn't fiery yet. There's a ton of Lego games, but the one I'm talking about specifically is Lego City. It wasn't based on any, like, IP or anything, but it was just a really fun, I don't know, it was a really fun Lego game. I loved it as a kid. That was on my list. I think it was like the number 10 spot or something. And then, you know what? I had Mario Party 10 on my list as well. I don't like I said, I don't like Mario Party 9 or 10 as much as the other ones. The only reason I kind of like Mario Party 10 still, is the memories I have with my friends. Me and my friends used to play through the Bowser mode on there so many times, and it was a lot of fun. So you know, it's even if it's like not a great game, it's just the memories that you have with the ones you shared it with, I guess, you know, if that makes sense. Let's see here. All the force is coming down. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. And even though I think it's kind of... Oh no, I died again. I think I just got a checkpoint though. Yes. And I got hit again. But Mario Bros. Wii U, I still like that game. Even... Oh, god damn it. Even if I think it's a little easy. Still fun to play with friends. And then... What are the Wii U games? Wii U was Pikmin 3, but I'm not really a Pikmin guy. Was there an Animal Crossing on the Wii U? I don't know. There might have been. I was never really a big Animal Crossing guy until New Horizons. Really like New Horizons a lot, though. I played that quite a bit on my Switch. I should show you my world on there someday. Oh boy. I think I'm almost done. I gotta get... Oh boy. I think I gotta throw this on that vine, don't I? Alright, alright. Can I... I just like look at this level design and all the... Everything's like on fire, oh, there we go. There we go. Oh no, I missed... I didn't hit the buttons. Anyway, those are my thoughts on Donkey Kong and the Wii U. So, let's move on to my last game of choice, my favorite game on the Switch. Alright, and for my Switch game, I just decided to go with Mario Kart 8 because, honestly, this is the game on the Switch that I spend the most hours playing, I think. There's quite a few Switch games that I love, and when I eventually do a top 10 Switch games of all time, it's going to be pretty tough, I think, coming up with that list, because you know, there's just so many great Switch games. I'll give you like a rough top 10 in a minute, but I think, you know, if it weren't for the DLC, I don't think this would be my favorite Switch game, especially considering that this came out on the Wii U, right? Like, I was just talking a minute ago how this is basically a Wii U game, but there's so much added content in this. Like, by the time the DLC's done, there'll be twice as many tracks in this game than in the original. There's gonna be 96 tracks, and so with all the added content, it's just kind of hard to look at Mario Kart 8 Deluxe as anything but a new game in a way. Like, I know it's a port, but just the DLC, it really kind of stands on its own, in my opinion. Now, some other, I mean, I thought about like playing Odyssey or something. Odyssey's like obviously a really great Mario game, one of my favorite Mario games. I mean, I've said that about all the Mario games. Mario's he's just one of my favorite characters, I guess. But yeah, like Super Mario Odyssey, such a creative game. You have to use Cappy to like capture your enemies and control them. It's pretty sick. And then you have like Breath of the Wild, which was pretty cool too. Breath of the Wild's like, I would say it's probably like the most popular. It seemed like the most popular Zelda game. Everyone pretty unanimously loved Breath of the Wild, and so many people are looking forward to Tears of the Kingdom. I know I am too. I think when Tears of the Kingdom comes out, the sequel to Breath of the Wild, I'll probably buy that game like day one, honestly. So I'm really looking forward to that game as well. That's definitely on my top 10. You know, maybe even like in my top 5. But again, even though Mario Kart 8 is like an older game than both of those, you know, kind of made for the Wii U, I just find myself like where I find it's kind of hard to play Mario Party by myself. I don't find it that hard to play Mario Kart by myself. I play Mario Kart by myself all the time, like all the time. I'll just, you know, you just play with the CPU. I play on 200cc, or I can play online, whatever. So I just, and especially like if it wasn't for the DLC, I probably wouldn't even have thought about this game because I was kind of done with it, I guess. Like, I played it on the Wii U and that was that, but the DLC gave it, like, I played it a little bit on the Switch before the DLC, but the DLC gave this game such a fresh, like, breath of fresh air, such a breath of fresh air, like, literally so many new tracks, and I know they're all remakes, but, like, they're all remakes of older tracks but like, yeah, but they're still like new tracks in a way, you know what I mean? Like they're new remakes, if that makes sense. And just the whole Mario Kart community, like whenever a new wave is coming out, predicting what's going to be the new wave. You know, I have videos like where I predict like the tracks coming in future waves and stuff. So it's just, I don't know, it's just it's created such a fun atmosphere, I think, this game, just with in the Mario Kart community and in the Nintendo community. So like, you know, if you would ask me like at the beginning of the Switch's life, you know, I'd definitely say Odyssey or Breath of the Wild would be my favorite game. You know, and those games are still like near the top end. You know what, when the DLC is all done and I'm done playing all these new tracks, like one of those two games might actually be my favorite Switch game. I might just feel like Mario Kart 8's my favorite game right now because I'm done with Odyssey and Breath of the Wild, and like I'm still getting new content for this game. You know what I mean? Like it might be like that, like a bit of an illusion. But nonetheless, I still, like I said, I put the most hours in this game than any other game, like in recent memory on my Switch for sure. So that's why I'm playing Mario Kart 8. Other than Odyssey and Breath of the Wild, some other great games on the Switch, I absolutely love Metroid Dread was a good game. Metroid Dread was my first Metroid game that I played. Well, actually, it was my first Metroid game in general. I think I talked about that earlier, but because I never played a Metroid Prime game. But Metroid Dread was the very first Metroid game I've ever like completed. Right, I bought it for the Switch and beat it when it came out. I think it was a couple years ago. But that game was so unique. It was so much fun. I don't know, I just loved it. It was a little difficult, some of the bosses, but just all in all, a really fun game. I also really loved Paper Mario and the Origami King. That one's a little bit more split. Now, I never grew up, okay, actually, that's another good franchise. I forgot about those games. So, like, you know, because you have Paper Mario on the N64, and then you have Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door in the GameCube, which is like a super popular game. I never played those games. The first Paper Mario I played was the one on the Wii U, or the one on the Wii. It was just titled Super Paper Mario, and it was like way different than the other ones. Like, it wasn't like a traditional RPG. You kind of like flip in and out between 2D and 3D. It's kind of hard to explain, but you literally flip into like the third dimension. You just have to see it. It's really cool, actually. So that was like the Paper Mario that I kind of grew up with. Now Origami King, from what I understand, it is kind of similar to the N64 and Thousand Year Door, but not totally. Like apparently it wasn't completely. It was just a little bit faithful to those. Like I don't know. People want like partners back. I mean, I guess we kind of got partners in Origami King. Not a lot. I don't know. I mean, it's hard for me to say. I never played those original two Paper Mario games, so I don't exactly know. But what I do know is Origami King was a little bit split. Some people liked it, some people didn't like it so much, but I kind of fall on the side where I did like it. I loved it. I really loved it. As of now, it's on my top 10 Switch games of all time, I'd say. I really love that game. And then what else? Okay, so a lot of people love Splatoon, and actually that was a good one. I forgot to mention Splatoon when I was talking about the Wii U. Also, and Yoshi's Woolly World. Yoshi's Woolly World is actually a pretty fun platformer. But Splatoon is really popular. But I gotta be honest, and I tried it. It's fun, but I don't really love Splatoon. You know, like, and I have Splatoon 2 and Splatoon 3 for the Switch. Like, I bought Splatoon 3, like, which came out kind of recently, just last summer, for the Switch. And it's fun, and I played it for a little while, but I never really got into it as much as, like, a lot of other people, you know? Like, when I was doing my top 10 Wii U games of all time, I was watching a lot of other people's videos, and a lot of people put Splatoon, like, not just on their top 10, but, like, and it was like their number 1 or in their top 3. Like, a lot of people really love Splatoon, but yeah, just honest confession, I like Splatoon, but I don't really love it. I get bored of it pretty quick, to be honest. So yeah, like Splatoon 2 and Splatoon 3 wouldn't be on my list. Like, they're okay, but I don't really love those games. Okay, I just thought, okay, Mario Maker 2 is a really big one to me. So Mario Maker 2, and that's because I'm such a big Mario fan, and because I love, like I mentioned, I love Mario games and creating, well, I love all of his platformers and stuff, even if I find a lot of them easy, which I do. Like I find a lot of his 2D games a little too easy and maybe not creative. but they were still fun to go through and play through, like, you know, with my friends and family. And when Mario Maker came out, it came out for the Wii U originally. When Mario Maker came out, it was so, like, revolutionary at the time, like, to design your own Mario Kart levels, or not Mario Kart, I'm playing Mario Kart now, to design your own Mario levels, like, you know, platformer levels from the ground up, in your favorite themes, like Super Mario World, or Mario Bros. 1, Mario Bros. 3 theme, or whatever. And then they released Mario Maker 2 for the Switch, and I put in, like, no joke, I think when I check my Switch menu, I think I have like 500 hours. It was 400 or 500 hours in Mario Maker 2. Kind of insane. I think I have more hours in Mario Maker 2 than I do in Mario Kart 8. But I haven't really played Mario Maker 2 much in the last couple of years. It's mostly, most of my time in the last year has been dedicated to Mario Kart 8. Again, mostly just because of that DLC. And yeah, I guess those are my thoughts on Mario Kart 8 and the Switch. Any other really big games? You know what, Kirby and the Forgotten Land is another one of my favorites, actually. That will be on my top 10 for sure. It was the first 3D Kirby game, and it was so much fun, actually. I really loved going through Kirby and the Forgotten Land. It was a lot of fun. And even his 2D game on the Switch, which came out a few years ago, Kirby Star Allies, I found that a lot of fun too. And then there was Yoshi's Crafted World, but I didn't really love Yoshi's Crafted World. I liked Woolly's World better for Wii U. I don't know, I can't explain it. I think Crafted World wasn't really as creative, or, I mean, it still looked pretty unique, like I was saying back when I was playing Yoshi's Island, like everything's kind of crafted, but I didn't find that game as fun, but maybe that's just my opinion. And I think that will just about do it for today's video. I'm just going to play another race here as I do my outro. I took a look at my shelf real quick at my Switch games, and there was also Animal Crossing and Luigi's Mansion 3. I forgot to mention that I really love. I talked about Animal Crossing a little bit already. Haven't played it in a while, but played it a ton when it first came out for that first year. Really got me into Animal Crossing. Fun game. But particularly Luigi's Mansion 3. I'm a big fan of Luigi's Mansion. I forgot to mention that, actually. I think I forgot to mention that on the GameCube. The first Luigi's Mansion game. Oh no, I think I did mention it. I think I did talk about Luigi's Mansion 1. But yeah, Luigi's Mansion has been some of my favorite games. They're so different than so many of the other Nintendo franchises. Like, it's just the spooky setting and everything. So Luigi's Mansion is definitely... Luigi's Mansion 3 is definitely one of my favorites for sure. And yeah, I think that will just bring today's video to a close. And don't forget that this will be my last gameplay video on this channel. I'll be moving all my videos over, well, I'll be uploading videos like this from now on my second channel, as I mentioned at the beginning. So if you like these kind of videos of mine, be sure to follow me over there at Dom Games 2. I'll put the link in the description, and I'll put the channel in the channels tab on this channel. My next video on this channel will be it'll be a Kirby Star Allies video. It's going to come out on March 16th for the 5th and oh, you inkling boy, that bitch. Anyway, yeah, March 16th will be it's the 5th anniversary of Kirby Star Allies, so I've got a pretty big, interesting, fun video, facts video coming out on March 16th for that, in honor of Kirby Star Allies. And then yeah, just every video on this channel moving forward will be videos like that, just edited, well-made, edited, proper videos, I'd say. And all these, like, off the cuff, where I just game and chill and talk about whatever, all these videos from now on will be on Dom Games too. So yeah, other than that, if you're still here, I just want to thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. Hopefully I'll see you next time. Hopefully I'll see you over at Dom Games 2. And yeah, have a great day.